Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today we're talking about what if Deku was reincarnated into Genshin Impact. But before we actually start the video, I want all of you guys to think of idea for, Izuku's weapon, or more specifically a sacred gear for Izuku in the, what if Deku was reincarnated or, in high school DxD. So, I want all of you guys to go in the comments and basically tell me your ideas. Anyway, continuing on with the actual, story, or at least the explanation about what happened last episode. So, in the last video, we talked about how after Izuku and Lumin would basically wake up, they would go outside to eat breakfast. They would see a few guards, maybe about in their late 20s or in their late 30s, but almost all of them were in their, 80s at this point. Actually, some of them were about in their 60s now, or at least some of them. As when they arrived at a little cafeteria type place or buffet based, area, they would basically grab their food as they walked towards where, Kokomi and Goro and a few other people were there. One of them resembles I guess you could say a girl Bakugo, but less, explodey time to die bitch. But instead seems to be more of the fireworks type of girl. And another that seems to be a ninja, and also a girl, with Tanuki type features, and after Izuku told her that she kinda resembles a Tanuki, she would basically be, angry and would basically tell him that, she's not a Tanuki, with a cute little pout on her face, which Izuku thought it was pretty adorable. So, after breakfast, he was told by Kokomi that they should go and stop a little production line in Inazuma. Apparently, the Fatui have been making these weird weapons for, for the rebellion for a while now, so they want to get some revenge on, basically making some of their members pretty old. So, they would decide to go to a little, factory so they can destroy it. So, apparently, his teammates were the blonde-haired girl, which apparently her name was Yoimiya, and is a pyro-based user. And the other by the name of Sayu, aka the Tanuki, the Tanuki Ninja, which she doesn't really like being called that, but either way, Izuku prefers to call her that as a nickname. So, as they're walking towards, not really walking, but more like taking a wooden cart and also some horses to basically go there, Kokomi would basically ask him some questions, and after a bit of questioning, and also telling her about, his whole life and how, he first met, Lamine, they would arrive at the large-ass not really building, but I guess you could say it's kind of like a storehouse. A Japanese, traditional Japanese type of warehouse. Not really not made of a modern material type thing. So yeah, after, waiting at the cliff top, they would basically ask, Sayu to basically get in, as she would do with minimal ease. And somehow, she was not really even caught. I mean, it makes sense after all, she is a ninja, but still, she's pretty much clumsy and a bit tired. So, after confirming their suspicions, and apparently they're making elemental-based robots, which apparently they're able to wield the elements of pyro, electro, hydro, things of that sort, and also cryo, sort of. But after hearing about that, Izuku would basically tell them that they should try and stop them. And so, when they arrived there, one of them accidentally, caused a big explosion, which caused every single, member to basically get out of there, as now the entire factory was abandoned. So, after going inside to maybe check this place out, they would be attacked by, by a large gas attack, more specifically some weirdish purplish dark gas, which caused everybody to basically fall onto the ground, including Izuku, as Izuku would look and see a boy with purplish hair and purplish eyes, wearing almost Inazuman type clothing, but with a style that's similar to the Fatui, as he would explain that his name was Scaramouche, one of the Fatui Harbingers, and started beating on Lumine and also some of his friends. And when he saw that, he was pretty much pissed off. And during this, he would start to gain his final element, in this case Pyro, as he would manifest in, Susano-like arm, but more specifically, the right arm and also the right rib cage. And not only that, it almost resembles, Itachi's rib cage and, arm. And I forgot to tell you all of this, guys. I kind of forgotten this part. Well, the elbow, right? There's a second arm, basically. Wait for a second. Just imagine it just like, I guess you'd say like Madara's, but it's more specifically just like, Itachi's, where it has like, where the elbow starts, it has like two other hands. Like, not like, actually have two other sets of hands, but, you basically get it. As when he basically fights him, he would also have Yada mirror, basically. But instead of, reflecting any type of element and basically, reflecting it back, instead, just imagine it, well, as like, a projectile. It basically, shoots out flames. Almost darker flames than the normal, ish, pyro element. And after, defeating, him, he would basically leave, as everybody would start to leave as well. After arriving back at the, the Robo base and also telling Kokomi about their whole, interaction, she would basically tell all of them to basically, get some rest, and so Izuku and Lumine would fall asleep. But before we actually ended off the episode, apparently a girl was watching them, more specifically, La Senora, as when she saw, Lumine basically being carried, like bridal style, by, Izuku, she was pretty much jealous. And she would delusionally, eh? Anyway, that joke is already over. It's already, like, super old now. Anyway, but, when she saw that, she was pretty much jealous, as she would delusionally think that she can get, Izuku no matter what. After all, Roston does love her. After all. So, yeah. So, this is basically the, explanation about, what happened last episode. And so, let's talk about what happens next. So, as Izuku's basically awake, he would basically, just see Lumine still sleeping. As when he saw her, he would basically, lift off her hair and would basically, kiss her on the forehead. As he'd say, "Bye, Lumine," with a soft voice, as he would basically start to leave. And while he was basically walking off, he would see a few people just like looking around. More specifically, some members of the rebellion. Some of the rebels were basically, just, down there, just having a bit of fun. And some are basically drinking sake, which Izuku would think, actually, in my old life, I never really drank sake, or any type of alcohol, he would start to think. Maybe I should actually try some. But either way, I should probably start going. As while he was basically going off, he would basically decide to try and get a new weapon for himself. More specifically, a weapon that would basically, channel the powers of the pyro element. And this is where this comes in. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Like, just imagine this. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically like sickles. 2 sickles to be more precise. So, as he was basically walking off, he was going to I guess you could say a pretty well-known, like, area in Inazuma. More specifically, a smithing, country. Not really smithing country, but more like, a smithing town. So, as he was arriving there, it was already, sunrise, as everybody's currently waking up, as Izuku would arrive there. When he arrives there, he would see a few people are basically, talking and having a bit of fun. Some of the people there were basically looking at him, because, his clothing doesn't resemble, any type of clothing back in Inazuma. And even though he does have an, Inazuman type of structure, more specifically his face and his, his entire race, but they don't really think that he should be wearing that type of thing. Well, he was going towards, a little area so he can, find if there's, a nearby, I guess you could say, like, a nearby smithy, he would run into a few people. So, when he bumps into this person, he would basically, look over and would see A large, pretty imposing man. He seems to have demon-like horns and almost resembles an Oni, as you would say this. Oh, hello. I'm really sorry about that. As you would say this. Yeah, don't mention it. Anyway, really sorry into bumping into you. As you would say this. Don't worry. Anyway, nice to meet you. And welcome to... what am I gonna call this? Actually, let's just say I'm just gonna call it, the Iron Country for now. Or Iron, the Iron Village. As you would say this. Hey, the name's Arataki Ito, the leader of the Arataki gang. I meant Arataki gang, I meant. As you would say this. Arataki gang? As you would say this. Never heard of us? As you would say this. Yeah, I'm kind of new here, you would say, as you'd say this. Oh, really? Anyway, nice to meet ya. He would basically, build up his hands as he would say this. Nice to meet you too. I'm just looking for smithy nearby. Do you know, as he would say this. Well, there's a smithy nearby, but it's currently still closed, so you probably need to wait. As Izuku would say this. Sure, thank you, Mr. I meant, So, as, he would basically say that, he would say, oh, thank you, Arataki-san. He would say this. Don't really mention it, and besides, just call me, Ito for now. I'm not really into that type of, formal type speak. As you would say this. I see. Anyway, bye, he would basically say, as you would say, bye. As you would basically wave him off, as you would say, the guy kinda looks cool. Maybe I can definitely go fight with him. Or maybe even spar, he would basically say. As you would hear a few of his, members say, boss, as one of them would say this. Yeah. Said, one of them that was, following, Ito. As, the guy would say this. We're currently, as you would look over and see a few members of Raiden Shogun's gang. Including, Kujo Sara. As he would say this. Her. As you'd say, hey, it's been a while, Kujo. As Kujo would say this. Hello there, Ito. As she would basically, wield up her, bow, as she'd say, prepare to surrender your, vision to us. As you'd say this. Sorry, but unfortunately I'm not letting you get my vision. As you would basically get ready into a stance, as you'd say, and besides, I ain't that weak. As you would start charging towards her, as, before we can see the fight, we go back to Izuku. So, as Izuku is basically walking around the, town, he would basically arrive at the, smithy. It's already open, surprisingly. As when he walks into it, he would see, a few people there. Mostly 3 boys and 1 girl. As they were basically, pounding down the, metal, the hot metal, that was being used to create these weapons. As one of them would approach him. Specifically the girl. Hello, what are you doing here? As you would say this. Oh, I'm here to get a new weapon. As you would say this. Sure, what is exactly your weapon choice? Do you want a sword, or as you'd say, As Izuku would start to think, as he would get an idea. Can you give me a... It was called, how about a Kusarigama, I meant. As he would say this. I meant she. Wait, a Kusarigama? Huh. So, what type of, as he would say this. Just 2 sides. And instead of a chain, give me some sort of As you would start to think, as you would say, how about this? As you would basically, grab some paper and some, I guess you say pen, kind of. I don't know what the actual Japanese use, but actually, yeah, a pen and paintbrush, as you would basically make a, I guess you could say I don't know what to actually call it, but it's, basically one of those, decorations that you would use for a Dao, or a Chinese Dao, basically a Chinese sword, as she would say this. I see. I never thought of an idea like that. I'll go ask my father. As she would walk over to one of the larger men. As after he was told of this, he would say, certainly a unique weapon. Sure, why not? After all, we are the, last name, family or whatever. And we're the best blacksmithy here. So, I'll do it, he would basically say, as she would basically, give us a thumbs up to Mizuku, as he would say, cool, when can I, as she would say this, how about a week, as Izuku would say this. Okay then, as he would basically start to leave and would say goodbye to them. So, when he was, leaving, he would start to hear the sound of, fighting. As after hearing it, he would basically run over and would see, Ito fighting against Kuchosara. As, while they were fighting, one of the men would basically jump him, more specifically, one of Kuchosara's men, and would basically, stab him right in the back, causing him to fall down. As she would say this. I knew that you're nothing more than weak, she would basically say, as she would basically, more like knock him out with her, foot, and basically just like steps on him, causing him to be knocked out. After doing that, she would basically grab his vision, as she would say, how annoying. As she would start to think in her mind, where is Izuku? She would basically start thinking in her mind, because she really wants to see Izuku right now. Mostly because, she wants to do her job, and the second reason is to finally meet him and, probably run off with him. Maybe, if she has the balls for it. Or the kahungas. God damn it. As after seeing this, Izuku would basically jump down, and, actually, yeah, he would sort of jump down, but he would basically grab something from, I guess you could say, nearby, and it would be some sort of, yeah, it would be some sort of, cloak. As after jumping down, one of them would say this. Who the hell are you? Said one of the guards, specifically, Kyujosaro's, minions. As Izuku was basically wearing, well, the Koski cloak. Okay, just imagine him wearing a Koski cloak, but except it has a hood, and that literally covers half of his face, near to his mouth. As you would say this. Someone that wants to protect a person that was being, being hurt just because he has a vision. As one of them would say this. You really think that you can beat us? We're the, loyal soldiers of the, of the Raiden Shogun. You really think that you could beat? As Izuku would start to say, I'm sure I'm going to beat you. After all, as you would start, manifest both the, both electro and, pyro energies, as you would create a half and half type of monster. More specifically, a somewhat, complete Susanoo. What do I mean by this? Well, it has the skin. As half of its body would be purplish, almost resembling Sasuke's one, and the other half would resemble, Itachi's one, and would have the, the split arm, as one of the arms was wielding, the sort of Totsuka, the other wielding, the Yaramir, and the other one wielding the bow, which I think it was called the, it seems that it doesn't really have a, name, so I'm just gonna be calling the bow of, the bow of Indra, as the bow would basically be cocked back, as you would say, Indra's arrow, as the bolt of lightning would be, would be struck upon, one of the guards, as you would basically be flying, as when, she saw this, she would say, who the hell are you? And how are you able to use, as you would say this. And if you're asking, no, I'm not a member of the Fatui, as you would basically, reform back the, the, I guess you could say the Susanoo-like body, as he would basically grab his sword, more specifically, this one, the Tempest sword, or the Tempest blade, as you would say, I would rather not let you people hurt innocent people just because, they have visions. As you would basically create a large dragon made out of, a large dragon made out of, hydro energy. As the hydro energy would start forming, as it would start to, lift off the sword. As the sword would basically start to, emit a lot of, animal energy as it starts forming around the dragon, creating large black wings. not really black, but more like, darkish, a darker color to, the color of the, animal energy. As you would say this, take this. As you would basically grab this sword and would basically direct it at Kuchusara. As when he does this, he would somewhat, be seen by Kuchusara, more specifically his face, as you say, so that's Izuku. As before she could say anything else, the dragon would slam into her, causing her to be flying away. As, she would basically try and, to try and stable herself by using her wings, basically to almost fly. As she'd say, you certainly are Izuku. Izuku Midori of the Thousand Elements. And you certainly are strong, she would say. As currently inside, she would say, oh my god, that's so cool, she would basically say in her mind. But either way, unfortunately, it's my job to capture you. As she would basically grab her bow, as she would basically cock it back. As she cocks her bow, she would activate her ult. As electricity would start to, surround her. As the electricity would rush towards Izuku. As Izuku would say this. You really think it would actually hurt me? I mean, do you really think that it would actually hurt me? As you would basically, slam the ground, as it would cause a large hand to basically appear and blocking the attack. When she saw this, she would say, what? As she would basically look over, and the dust would settle, and she would see large hands made out of geo energy. As you would say, take this. As the sword would basically, be, pointing at Kuchusara, as you'd say, Lindworm Storm. As the large serpent would basically, the large serpent made out of, hydro and animal energy would basically rush towards her. As she would be slammed all the way to the ground by the attack. As she would say, he's strong. And quite cute, she would basically say under her breath. As Izuku would say this. Now, can you please give back, Mr. Ito's, Mr. Ito's, vision back? He would basically say, as she would say this. I guess you won this time. As she would basically throw the vision back, as she'd say, but next time, I won't be so easy on you. She would start to run away with the rest of her gang, as while they were running, Kuchusara would be in her mind saying, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I can't believe I actually met him, she would basically say in her mind. And after doing that, Izuku would look over and would see, Ito basically getting up, as he'd say, whoa, that was awesome, he would basically say, as Izuku would say this. Yeah, I guess you'd say that. Anyway, are you okay? As he would say this. Yeah, pretty much, sort of. As he would basically start, lifting his, back a little bit, as he would start stretching out. As some of his gang members would say, boss, are you okay? As he would say this. Yeah, I'm sort of fine. Wait, what about my vision? As everybody would start to, panic, more specifically his gang, as Izuku would say this. Here. As he would basically throw it at him, as he would say, wait, did you, as he would say this. Yep. I guess you could say I actually, defeated her. He would say, thank you! You were awesome and, wait, let me ask you something? As you say, sure, what is it? As you would say this, are you a part of the rebellion? As you would say, how did you, as you would say, well, I can obviously tell, I mean, I can definitely sense it, sort of, as you say. So you're planning to rat me out to, raiding Shogun over there? As you'd say, no, wait, did she say that you're Izuku of the Thousand Elements? As Izuku would say this. Yeah. Take a guess why I don't really want to be taken by, raiding Shogun and also by Kujo, whatever her name is. As he would say this. Oh, that little decree, he would basically start to laugh, including his gang, as you'd say, I can't believe that you're actually, being forced to marry her. He would basically start to laugh even more, as one of them would say this. Yeah, and I can't believe that you're actually afraid of that, as you would say, well, obviously, I mean, I do have a girlfriend, as one of them would say this. Wait, you actually do have a girlfriend? Huh, I thought you're the lone wolf type or something. As you would say this. Anyway, Anyway, here's your vision, okay? As you'd say, thanks. And thank you. I never thought that you could actually beat her. Not even me. As you'd say this. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a bit of surprise. He would basically take off the cloak, as you would say, anyway, see ya. I'm probably gonna come back soon. After all, I do have a weapon to, take later. Or at least later in the week. As after getting home, I meant not really getting home, but more like leaving, he would say, huh, that guy is certainly strong. Even I can't defeat him. Maybe, he would basically say, as the rest of his gang would basically, start to leave with, Ito. We go back to Izuku as he's currently walking on the dirt road. As while he was walking, he would sense somebody basically behind him, almost watching him. As he would say this, so, can you please stop following me? And I know that you're there. As this person would basically come out. This person almost resembles a girl. As this girl would say this. Oh, it's been a while, my lovely Izuku. She would basically say, as you'd say, great. So what do you want, La Senora? As this person would be revealed as La Senora. As she would say this. Well, is it that obvious? I want you. I want you to be with me. After all, you are my Rostam, she would basically say. As you would say, who? As she'd say, don't lie to me. I know that you're Rostam. You can't lie. After all, I know that you really are Rostam. No matter what, you can't lie to me, she would basically say with a almost seductive tone. As you'd say, I don't know him. He would basically say, as you'd say, oh, I'm guessing you just lost your memories, but I can certainly get them back for you. I'll do anything for you, she would basically say, as she would basically come closer to him. As she would start to, create a bit of, cryo energy, as she would rush towards him, as Izuku would say this. Well, shit! As he would basically run off, using the help of, his, geo energy by creating a somewhat large dragon made of geo energy, and with the help of, wait for a sec. And with the help of, animal energy, he would start to fly, as you say, sorry, but I'm not really into older women, so see ya, as he would basically start to fly away, as you'd say, but soon, my lovely Rostam, you will be mine. She would basically, hold up her hand at the direction of, Izuku, I should say. I promise that. But for now, I will let that girl, that Chujo Sara girl, try and capture you. And then when you finally get into my reach, I will bring you back to Shesnaya. And there we'll be having a wedding. A wedding for us, and us alone. Where everybody, including our Archon, the Archon of Ice and Snow, the Saritsa, will see my wedding with you, my Rostam. She would basically say with a almost like gleeful tone, as her eyes would start to almost become like heart eyes. And so, we basically go back to Izuku as he would basically arrive back at the rebellion's place. As everybody would look over and would see the large Geo and, and the large ass dragon that's made out of, Geo and, animal energy. As the beast would basically disappear, turning back into rocks, as the air around them, or at least around the dragon, would basically disappear. As one of them would say this, specifically to me, Izuku, where have you been? As you would say this. Oh, I wanted to go to a village to get a new weapon for my, brand newly acquired, pyro powers. As she would say this. Oh, I see, but we're, well, we sort of got on a mission. As Izuku would say this. What is it? As she would say this. Well, it's pretty important, so we need to go there immediately. It's by the orders of, Kakome. As Izuku would say this. Sure. So, as they, walk towards the large ass, building where Kakome is, we basically end off the episode right there. Sorry, but unfortunately I'm gonna be ending the episode right off here. So yeah, so before you leave guys, so I sort of, got Wattpad and was pretty interested in making a book series on Wattpad. And in this case, I decided to make a fan fiction story about, Ruby because, I sort of became a big fan of Ruby and sort of became a big fan of Wattpad, fan fiction. Mostly about Ruby and, other stuff. Rule 24. Whatever, what did I just say? Anyway, so, yeah, I sort of created this story and I call it Ghoul of Remnant, or the Ghoul of Remnant. So if you guys want to support me on this, this platform, please, read my story and also send it to your friends if you want. And if you want to read it, well, sure, it still has 3 parts, but I'm currently, still making, the draft for, chapter 1, which I'm calling it Meeting a Cute Little Rose. So, be ready for that chapter. Got it, guys? Anyway, so, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys. Sorry about that. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!